today's conference with speaker Christine Beckwith on she is calling the V factor. We're very, very fortunate to have Christine Beckwith with us today. But first, what I'd like to do is thank our sponsor, United Wholesale Mortgage, UWM. UWM, for all of you who already probably know UWM very well, has been a huge sponsor of our organization, NYAMB, and they have sponsored brokers, of course, all over the United States. I just want to point out a great feature that UWM is offering to mortgage brokers right now, which I discovered recently, which is their automated valuation model that they have right on the home screen for their mortgage broker partners. This is an exceptional tool that I've been using to great success, telling real estate brokers that we can get them fairly accurate valuation, automated valuations, that is. As you know, I've been an appraiser for many years, and I've looked at a lot of these and evaluated them, and this one just really stands out as being exceptional. So if that's not reason enough to start working with UWM, if you're not already, or for those of us who are already with us, please use that tool to your advantage. What a great opportunity to call up this information. So thank you to UWM for your sponsorship. And now let me tell you a little bit about our speaker today. I'm going to read it right off her bio. So excuse me if my eyes are not right with you. Christine Beckwith is an award-winning executive sales leader who has spent 30 years in the mortgage finance industry. Her life and her career are the culmination success stories that reach all the way back to her childhood. A best-selling and award-winning author, Christine branched out in 2018 to begin her dream job as the founder and president of 2020 Vision for Success Coaching and Consulting. After breaking many glass ceilings in the mortgage and banking industry, Christine is a columnist for magazine and is a special correspondent anchoring the news and interviewing experts in her industry. She is also the publisher of a successful industry-themed duo of magazines and an advocate for women, dedicating a complete division in her own company to the cause amongst many causes and communities she touches at a vast level. Christine is active on the national speaking circuit, lecturing on topics including her expertise in finance and sharing her personal stories of inspiration and motivation while delivering both tactical and practical advice. Over the span of Christine's 30 years, she consistently ranked in the top 5% of respective sales teams, beginning with her years as an originator, all the way through her ranks in many layers of branch, reaching eventually regional, then senior leadership roles. She has been coined by MPA magazine the Gordon Ramsay of banking coaches for her ability to take companies and teams to superior financial success. Christine will tell you that writing, teaching, and speaking are at the core of who she is, enabling her legacy work with a commitment to make a difference in the lives of professionals and youth everywhere. Christine is a mother, a girlfriend, a daughter, a sister, an aunt, a homemaker, a lover of laughter, good health, home and heritage. She calls herself a happy human. And you know what? I actually feel happy when I am with her as well. So without any further ado, Christine Beckwith, thank you for being with us today.
I'm so glad to be back with you guys. Hi, everyone. And everyone that I hope is going to play this back, I'm assuming that this might get recorded. Maybe this is the prompt to hit record. I don't know. But I'm so glad to be here with you live right now. And I am going to be delivering a short, powerful lecture called The V Factor. I hope everybody's had a wonderful year, as so many professionals in our space have had a wonderful year, and also a trying year. And so, of course, as we sit here right now at the beginning of 2021, I think we're all filled with a hope of another fabulous year ahead. I hope that we find the resilience and we find the wherewithal to do our very best and live our very best lives. And today on this lecture, this is my Simon Sinek lecture. I saw you guys as one of my last live acts before pandemic on stage in New York. And I did my Blueprint for Success lecture, which was specifically on my business planning and what was at the center of my book, Wise Eyes, See Your Way to Success. The V factor is truly a higher level philosophical speech. It really is about making you think, thought-provoking information and inspiration, I hope. And the whole idea here is to make you take a look at your businesses in 3 ways. Now, I want to start by telling you, I am a highly analytical person. So over the course of 30 years leading loan originators, branch managers, and even senior leaders, of course, a big facet of my job was looking at reports daily, weekly, and monthly. It was forecasting. It was running companies. It was looking at activity metrics. It was looking at the ROI on marketing plans. It was all kinds of numbers. And so I share that part with you to start this lecture to tell you that in the process of all this assessment, behind the scenes was what I understood to be kind of the 6th sense of success. And that is, what is the makeup of our businesses that bring us to success? What is the makeup of successful people and what they have in them, what they aspire to be? Well, when I looked at the top performing branches, the top performing originators, the top performing leaders, it was 3 things: their ability to incite and follow a vision, their ability to have vitality and wellness in their businesses, and then also their ability to understand the distance from where they were to getting success, which is also a part of my blueprint. And we call that velocity, which sometimes is interpreted as speed. But I'm going to explain to you today that velocity really means how fast you get to success, but the distance to get to success. So this lecture is called The Undeniable Discovered Path to Success. If you're also wondering how long you're going to be with me, this lecture is about 20-25 minutes long. We will open it up to Q&A at the end. So if you have any questions as you go, I welcome you to chat them, and Mark's going to read them back to me at the end. You also can open your mic, I think, at the end and ask me questions as well. Love your comments as well. If you like something I'm talking about, give me a verbal thought on that. I really like to have that interaction. So here we go. We're going to dive right in. So before we can talk about success, we need to look at why people fail. So in my assessment in my 30-year career, we would discover that people that had failure lacked certain things. These were the 4 most highest things that we would see people failing, possessing, or lacking. And so here they are: lack of inspiration, lack of hope, lack of drive, and lack of direction. So there's no shame if you're sitting here looking at this list and possibly thinking, on any given day, I may have 1 or more of these things happening. I think it's a natural human thing. I think every day as human beings, we're fighting against a tide that's coming in, that's telling us to sit down and relax, that's telling us about, our limitations. I think we have to look for the inspiration. We have to really focus our eyesight on the places we find hope, sometimes in light of very loud images of despair. Certainly in the world and the global, pandemic, we have many reasons to worry, and we have many reasons to have concern. So finding that silver lining becomes a chore, but also becomes something that I think helps other people around you as leaders. Our lack of drive can be from many things. We're going to talk today about what happens and how to overcome that. And then also, I'm going to tell you that lack of direction is a big one. A lot of times we are just going down the road and, we end up going in the wrong direction. David just asked if I'll share the slides, and the answer is absolutely. I'm happy to send this over for you guys to have. So let's start with the first of the 3, vision. I'm going to give you the dictionary definition of vision: anticipating that which will or may come to be. Great image here of somebody looking out and seeing the world in their eyes and the endless opportunities. The act or power of sensing with the eye sight. Well, we all know my company's name is Vision Your Success Coaching, right? So I certainly and definitely tout that having a vision, being a leader, being able to lay the landscape of where people need to march to helps people have a lighthouse in the future of their businesses that they can move from their current state and into the future. An experience which appears vividly or credibly to the mind, although not actually present, often under the influence of a divine or other agency. So I would ask you right now, sitting here, theoretically, do you feel like you have a vision for 2021? And it may just be like, all right, it's January. I just got done with the holidays and I'm focused this right now on assessing my business and beginning my business plan. That could be the beginning of having and creating your vision. You may have a first quarter plan already in place. But my question to you is, do you know what you want to be advancing in 2021? What are the things that you did in 2020 that worked well that you're going to keep and maybe even enhance? And then what are things that were missing that you might add on? Now, I'm a big believer in simplicity. My coaching is not complex. We have tons and tons of resources here for professional development, but what we really try to do is teach people to keep their trek forward in simple bite-sized pieces. If you consider that there's time spent every day on your businesses, how much extra time do you have to build new things? I would tell you sometimes we create this Taj Mahal of business plans with ideology of doing like so many massive things. The problem with that is we don't assess the resources that it takes. One being time, two being energy, and three being the ability to see it through to the end. I would urge you, if you're a branch manager or a leader, that you not start projects you can't finish, because you will set bad examples. And so I encourage my team to consider the real vision and the length of time and resources that are taken to get to that vision. The second thing we're talking about today is vitality. Now, this might make you think about your own personal health, and it is true that you are the body and the vehicle of your business. However, I would ask you, are you somebody that has the ability to keep your business looking as if it's healthy? How does your business look? Does your business look like it's growing, for instance? We're going to talk about the vitality of your business today. The definition is exuberant physical strength or mental vigor, a person of great vitality, capacity for survival or for the continuation of a meaningful or purposeful existence, the vitality of an institution. The third thing we're going to talk about today is velocity. Again, the definition is rapidity of motion or operation, swiftness and speed, a high wind velocity, the mechanics of something, the time. I said this in the beginning, we're going to talk more about time, the time rate of change, of position, of a body in a specified direction. That's it right there, guys. Bingo. What's the velocity of your business? How long is it going to take for it to change into the business you want it to be? Is it evolving to where you want it to be? So we put these three together, and this wonderful quote from Joel Barker: vision without action is merely a dream. Action without vision just passes the time. Vision with action can change the world. So let's dive in to topic number one, vision. Leading with a vision. I'm just going to read these and then I'll tell a story. Truly successful people create a vision of a finish line for your clients. Successful people create vision of the process and expectation in all directions, client, subordinate, and management. Then successful people take that vision and execute on each step to get themselves, their clients, or a team to that vision. In creating a target, and you may be the leader of the vision that others are following, you are creating a direction that movement can occur. If your business is operating with no target and no vision, then your employees or you yourself might be just swimming around every day in your business and you're getting work done, but you're not growing. Maybe you're not solving to problems. Maybe you're not becoming more efficient. Maybe your work-life balance is lopsided. Maybe your business is headed for a collision and you don't even know because you're not operating in any certain direction. I put up 3 quotes here I want to read. If you don't have a vision, you're going to be stuck in what you know. And the only thing you know is what you've already seen. Leadership is the capacity to translate vision into reality. And a great leader's courage to fulfill his vision comes from passion, not position. And that last one I want to unpack and tell you is true. If you had been in the room when I did the Blueprint for Success in New York for this group, then you heard me talk about a team that I took over in the early 2000s. And it was a team of 125 originators who were in last place in the country as compared to 14 other major market districts. There were 8 branch managers and 125 originators. And so here they were, and I did an assessment taking them over. They had the second highest average loan balance in the country. So the contest that they were entering into that year, right at the time that I took over, where there was a lot of ribbing and locker room banter going on about these guys being in last place, really had them at a disadvantage, of course. But when I assessed, I realized they had the second average highest loan balance in the country, only to California, which was another district we were competing against. And I thought, these guys are stepping up to the plate and they're missing with a wiffle bat, because they have the ability to compete and actually do more than their competition. They have bigger bats because their loan size was such that it was double some of the other districts. So based on a volume competition for one loan, they were doing double the volume of another district doing a loan for half its size. And so what I did is I took the time to sit with all of the people and have one-on-ones. When it was all said and done, I discovered 3 trends through listening to them. Number 1, their morale was really poor. They didn't believe in themselves. They knew they were in last place. They were down about their business, and they really felt inadequate and unhappy. That was number 1. Number 2 was that there was no communication coming to them that was helping lift them up, guide them, give them direction, or help them move from the place that they were in. So communication was an issue, morale and communication. Number 3 was a vision of a future or a plan. That is where I began to have them all write their blueprints for success. And so what I will tell you is that we worked on those 3 areas. Once we assessed and we determined that, we had a new direction to move in. I painted the vision of a future where they were not in last place. I told them the steps that would need to be taken daily. We talked about their jobs, and all of them did different jobs. Many of them would come to work lacking the direction and inspiration. So we began to have morning sales talks. We got together, we shared motivational things. We started putting what I call lighthouses in place where we had fun activities. So we changed the environment of the group by having something monthly to look forward to, whether that was a happy hour or a lunch or a little competition or whatever was going on. The company's competition did not seem like something we could really be in the race of. It started and the reports were coming out nationally. And again, we started in last place. The competition was a year long. And at the end of that year, I will fast forward and tell you this team won that competition in the number 1 spot. We moved 125 people from last place to first place against competitors that had won the contest for 10 years straight without being knocked off their number 1 spot. I want to tell you that through that process that year, month over month, we would come together and talk about our progress. Of course, we were not seeking number 1. We were just seeking to improve. And when we analytically looked at what we had done in a month's time, we celebrated our milestones and our processes. We celebrated our progress and our accomplishments. We held each other up and we went back to work and we worked harder. That was easy to do, by the way, for the first 6 months. In the middle of that year, it became much harder when we became a little bit above average for the company because the competition became much, much harder. Now we were competing against true business athletes, people that had been successful for long periods of time. But the thing about the human spirit that I want to remind you, the thing that makes us cry when we watch the pre-story on Sunday on ESPN, the thing that makes us well up when we see an image on the evening news, because we're human beings, that was the thing that was on fire in this group. They had gotten a taste of this momentum and this success and this new direction, and they saw the tactics within the plan working. That was exactly the medicine that they needed to get excited and start to run towards the vision. And you had to change the vision as you went forward. You had to lay out new bricks, because as they stepped up the mountain, the next part needed to be explained, and so on and so forth. I ask you today, where are you looking for your vision? I have no reason to have these things up on this slide other than to tell you, as an example, you need resources. You need to know where your business is going. You create the vision for your client. You create the vision for the people around you. You need to know where the business is going economically. It can't be based on a biased opinion. It can't be based on subjectivity. It's got to be based on facts. We are in the banking industry. Where is the economics going? I constantly watch the news and read the news daily and subscribe to these places for information so that I can guide you and all the people consulting with me in an absolutely proper manner. And if not me, I bring in these experts to be able to share that vision. What if you became the vision and place people are looking for the direction? What if you became communicative in the way that you created the vision so that your business becomes the place that your business partners look to for information? That's kind of what we've done here. We have magazines, we blog, we have social media. We're putting out a ton of informational content. Why? Because we have become a source of business information. And as a result, people are tuning in. That's great for us. That has turned referral partners for us that we seek to be partners for and business from in a manner where we're providing a value and they're reciprocating to us by signing up for coaching and consulting. And so I would tell you, you have the ability to do the same exact thing on a micro level at your seat. Are you putting out content that draws attention to you? What if you became the person who directs where other people look? I hope that makes you think about vision. Turning vision into action definitely requires you understanding the marathon that you're running. And I have used as examples before a marathon. I'm from the great city of Boston, and we have the Boston Marathon here. I went to the Boston Marathon my freshman year in college for the first time, and I thought I was just going to a tailgating party. What would turn into a day that changed my life, I found myself drawn to the edge of the race. I was at mile 9 in Hopkinton, Massachusetts, and what I saw was just mind-blowing. I saw people running with the names of lost loved ones on their shirts. I saw people running for a cause. I saw teams running. I saw families standing on the side, children that were holding cups and bottles of water for their dads and their moms and holding up signs cheering them on. And I realized this wasn't just about running. This was about the human spirit to accomplish something. It's hard to run 26 miles. I later learned that these runners were pacing themselves and that at the 22nd mile, they would quicken their speed and run a faster mile for the final miles of the race. They would train themselves to reserve energy. Our businesses are exactly the same way. How do we know when to accelerate in our business and pour more money on our sales funnels? How do we know when it's the right time of year? I'll use myself as an example. January is the biggest sign-up month for coaching and consulting So we are staffed up this month. We are locked and loaded. 34 people are here today that are behind the scenes, receiving phone calls, inbound leads, and servicing all of our consultations and clients. And so much like a hospital for businesses, we are ready for the doors to swing open this month and have the ambulances bringing in people. I would ask you, are you aware in your year ahead in 2021 when you're going to need to quicken your pace? Is your daily, weekly, and monthly metrics of activity understood? Have you done the reverse engineering required so that you can have the progress that you need, and also so you can pivot? Last year in March, the business had pandemic hit. That changed my entire year. I lost 27 speaking gigs. I had businesses that closed, and I had to pivot. That meant reassessing my business and moving an entire team onto a new plan. We did that within 2 weeks, pivoted. We were slow to start. And by the year end, we caught up with our business plan and came across the finish line exactly where we said we would be at the beginning of 2021. I would ask you, are you ready for that type of stuff this year if something should change? You have to be database cultivating. You have to understand realtor preservation and growth. You need to understand that social media is where the biggest buying pool is for us, which is in the millennial pool. You need to have true entrepreneurial operation, and you must attract and influence your business. I know those are new words, but if you don't do it, other people will. With a tree, all the growth takes place at the growing tips. Humanity is exactly the same. All the growth takes place in the growing tip. Among that 1% of the population, it's made up of the pioneers, the beginners. That's where the action is. So I ask you, are you going to be the tip of the change in the mortgage industry? Are you going to be stretching where the business is going and growing? I changed the direction when I started 2020 by being able to launch my social media. In 2016, I had no social media at all. And I self-taught watching free videos on the 7 social media sites. I soon began to apply the tactics that they taught me to do in connecting with people, in posting and creating activity. By 2017, I had caught the attention of Gary Vaynerchuk. I received a call on December 5th, you know where you are, in the Dominican Republic on vacation, and was asked to open his conference at the Miami Garden Stadium. And you see me there on stage moderating the real estate influencers panel, tapping influence to sell more homes. That stage is packed with the most phenomenal speakers. The guy sitting next to me, who's actually not on the screen, listed on the screen, and was a late addition, is John C. Tolbert. He is the president of Four Seasons Hotel, and they had just opened a hotel in Belize, and it had cost billions, and they had received the full bookings when they opened their doors. They were sold out for 6 months of bookings for the hotel. They said they did that by lifestyle imaging social media. So I want to just tell you that that is the state, that is changing the direction. They said, if you live this lifestyle, pictures of people wearing watches, pictures of people driving fancy cars, pictures of people relaxing at the spa, the images that were cast from the hotel, people want that. They buy on emotion. So I would ask you, what part of your business do you tell the story of that emotionally connects with your audience? If the millennial buyer is who is buying, are you even in the right TV station? In other words, are you running your emotional social media posts in places that they're looking? You first need to attract them to the line. It's your bait. And so I would tell you that the very first thing you need to do is you need to seek to change the direction that people are looking at your business. Anyone can create a bean counting system, but can that sustain you, inspire you, inform you? Will you be going in the right direction? Will it take you the distance? As the expert whose business is seen, You are sought after. How do you position yourself in your business to be sought after? How do you become the giver instead of the asker? I was able to change the direction for myself by self-teaching myself social media, by networking and putting myself out there so that people would look at 2020 vision instead of me running around asking for them to look at 2020 vision. This brings me to vitality. Vitality is your health and wellness. I said growth. Are you growing in your business? What is your ability to climb? Can you overcome? Can you scale? When I think of vitality, I think of the youth. And so one of the things that happens is we look really closely at young people in our business, as well as all around us. They have brilliant ideas, by the way. I know I'm a 51-year-old professional woman, and I know a lot. But one thing I know is I don't know what I don't know. And one thing I've learned is the young people know a lot. My 14-year-old son does a lot for me, for social media, for technology. He sent his own parental controls. I've said that before, with my guidance, because I didn't know how to do it, which is kind of funny. So I want to tell you that we can keep a youthful mind and have vitality by evolving. Are you evolving? Are you stuck in your old ways? Are you stuck in the things you've always done and that worked for you great in past markets and times in your business, but today you're being pushed in a direction that maybe you even naysayed. Maybe you loudly said things against social media or against modern marketing, and now you find yourself realizing that the whole world is moving in this direction. I would tell you, look to your youth, keep evolving, challenge yourself to go in a new direction. I would ask you, is your business showing signs of health? Do you announce new employees? Do you announce closed loans? Do you announce things that are happening and growing? Do you share your own accomplishments? A lot of people will relegate people sharing certifications or loan closings or things like that to bragging. That's not true. I personally love seeing other people's accomplishments, and you should be really proud of your own. I'm going to tell you, iron sharpens iron. People that are pro athletes are not afraid that what they look like, and they attract other pro athletes, and everybody follows them because they're doing something exceptional. That's true in our businesses. I had to get over the ideology of my social media being almost nauseating. We post 6 times a day. A lot of it is awards that we've received, testimonials that we've received. I'm sure we have people out there that are, looking at it as if we're boasting. But we are attracting the people we want, the people that have like-minded minds about improving their businesses, people that are reaching, people that are stretching, people that are looking for the hope and looking for the inspiration are finding it in us. We're okay with the people that look away. So I ask you and challenge you this year, are you the person that people are going to be attracted to for your business? Or are you one of the people that are stuck not doing the techniques of modern marketing because in your mind, it's egotistical or it's boastful? And is that hurting you? I would say yes. There's a picture of a heart here, and that image represents an image that I drew with a crayon in the 5th grade when asked, what makes the world go around? I said, love. And this little boy that was sitting next to me laughed at me. And I remember leaving school that day hurt and embarrassed. Well, today I can tell you, I still think that's what makes the world go around. It took me many years to realize that how he made me feel that day didn't mean that I was wrong in my assessment. So many times we don't become vital or thrive because of the voices around us that push us down or stop us from moving in a certain direction. For some reason, such grand concepts as love and kindness often get relegated to the realm of the spiritual, as if they have no place in all other aspects of life. Quite simply, this is about humanity. Not only is love very much a part of what makes us human, it is the strongest force for being able to work together collaboratively in a community so that we may thrive. So does love have a place in our business? It does. It has served me well. It is my truth. It makes me have vitality. It is the thing that draws others to me. I had to get over being embarrassed of that. I had to get right with who I was and what I am. So in ending vitality, I want to tell you, evolve, learn, grow, explore, be honest, be authentic, push yourself, water yourself. A first-rate soup is better than a second-rate painting, right? What is it that's your passion? Don't try to do something that you're not good at. How do you align your business with your purpose? Finally, velocity. You know, I have these racing quotes up because we're all running around trying to do everything the fastest and the most. So, of course, we're in a business of production, and our bosses and our managers and owners want us to be the very best, and we want that for ourselves. But we don't always get that success by racing there. We get there, and a race car driver wins a race by making sure a few things happen. First of all, he has or she has a vision of the finish line. Second, they know the distance going back to the marathon runner. They know they're running a 35-lap race. They know that their car can sustain X amount of heat and needs X amount of fuel. They know when to pit stop perfectly timed and get back out there and race. And they never lose sight of the performance needed. But their velocity, even though they're racing, is not about speed only. It's about timing. And so my question to you is your business healthy enough? And do you have the vision of the race that you're driving in your business? And do you understand the time that it's going to take? Because here's where we fail in our businesses. When we implement things and we don't know how long it's going to take to do or get an ROI. Let's take a sales funnel, we might add. We start doing it daily, we don't get immediate results, and by like week 3, we're like, this is a waste of money. Well, what if we started it differently? What if we said, I'm going to commit to doing the sales funnel for 90 days. And if I don't see that activities picking up by month 2, we can assess and decide if I go forward. By activities, I mean forward activities. So there's something called present activities and analytics and forward metrics. Forward metrics are your invisible metrics, meaning it's not submissions of loans and closings or credit pulls even. It's talking to people and phone activity and activity being created that is planting of the seed, that is nurturing and being nurtured into growth that then spawns up a seedling that becomes your credit app and then your loan application. So many times we quit things because we don't see the seedling come and our crop is about to burst and we stop watering it because we base that on a feeling instead of a plan. You have to have a time and expectations, and you have to have some analytics about how it goes. Maybe asking how a sales funnel is to perform would give you context. Don't do things willy-nilly. Don't implement things this year without a timeline and an expectation. Those two things are going to render you greater ROI. If you understand where your finish line is, you can accelerate. If you know what the plan is, you have a map. Guys, all you have today is a car, your business. If you don't have a vision for the finish line, an understanding of the time to get there, and then the map on how you're going to get there. So again, vision without action is merely a dream. Action without vision just passes the time. Vision with action can change the world. There's one last thing I want to tell you. your happiness and willingness to steer yourself towards positive thinking. It's not just hype, it's science. I set out to prove in a class I teach called The Power of Positivity on the studies of Barbara L. Fredrickson, PhD out of the Northern University of Carolina. She delivered a thesis on an experiment testing negative beta groups and positive mindset beta groups. The positive mindset beta groups ate healthy, rose in exercise, they journaled, they actually did book readings together, and they did all things positive. The negative group had all negative things that they were doing, or lack of positive things. She studied the 10-year follow-up of these study groups and discovered that the benefits of positive thoughts continued long after the experiment. The biggest benefit was that it provided an enhanced ability to build skills and develop resources for use later in life. So she, if you Google her or YouTube her, has videos on the broaden and build mindset. If you imagine a scale from an arch like a rainbow, and on this side on the left is 0, and over here on the other side of the arch is 10, and you split it down the center, all things positive reside over here, all things negative reside over here. Can we live our lives as humans never in the negative realm? No. Things are happening to us every day that are pulling us to the left side of the fence. Death around us, illness, sadness, despair, anxiousness, stress, anxiety, all kinds of things. Our ability to wake every day and try to fill our buckets with positive things. How many things are you doing daily where you drive yourself to something positive, where you sit and read, where you go and work out, where you read the positive things, where you surround yourself with the positive people? Happiness is both the precursor to success and the result of it. I share my why. This is my son Jagger on the left, my boyfriend Corey of 14 years on the right, with my 2 dogs, Charlie and Chica. There are only 2 ways to influence human behavior. You can manipulate it or you can inspire it. So people buy why you do something. And this quote from my book, Wise Eyes, the ability to transcend to a better place, to imagine a better future, to then chase those dreams with a genuine belief that they can become a reality takes courage, strength, endurance, and some strategic ignorance. Lucky for me, that is how I was born. Through my belief and leadership, I have come to realize that I possess the ability to change the course of people's lives. I take that power very seriously. All right. That's it. I want to thank you guys for having me, and I guess we'll open it up now to any questions that you might have.
Well, oh, where did we go?
You're still there. I see you.
Okay, I must have logged myself out accidentally. Hold on just a moment. There I am.
Yeah, I see you.
Christine, thank you very, very much. You know, I think as entrepreneurs, most of us are in this brokerage business, we have the vision. What we lack a lot of time is sharing that vision. Probably one of our greatest weaknesses, because we know where we want to go as entrepreneurs. We want to go to the top, of course. Just sharing that, and thank you for the tools on help giving us those tools on how to share that and how to drive ourselves a little bit better. I have,
Yay,
with your book Wise Eyes, I keep it here. I of course have an autographed.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
But I have to tell you, I read this quote over and over from time to time. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. Last year when we did our webinar on this book, I focused on that and made some changes that were pretty incremental and shared that with my team. Because you must master, another quote, you must master a new way to think before you can master a new way to be. Those were quotes that stuck in my mind in a big way last year when we had our webinar.
Aww.
and love this material very much. And I hope everybody was able to get a little something unique and special out of it just for them, like I always do. So again, thank you. I don't see any questions
Okay.
on the panel, so you did a really thorough job.
Good. Yeah, no, they can always, if anyone ever wants to talk to me one-on-one, I'll give you my email. It's easy. It's my first name, Christine, and then it's at visionyoursuccess.net. You can always reach out, but please follow us on social media. We have a couple of groups, 20/20, just the way the logo appears, Vision for Success Coaching on Facebook. And we have Women with Vision also on Facebook. 2,000 people in both groups. They're great places to ask questions. They're great places to share positive content, exactly what I just gave a speech about. And so if you want to run, with us and be kind of in our realm, we invite you. I mean, there's no spam going on. It's truly just, a positive environment to be in. So.
Great, thank you very much. We can all appreciate trying to be something bigger than just us alone, and it's great. Thank you very, very much for your time today.
Yes.
I'm going to make a couple of announcements to our group here. First of all, for everyone, please be aware we have AML training January 21st at 9 a.m. This will provide you with a certificate that you need. It's the first leg of your annual AML training, so please don't miss it. Investment property lending by immigrant mortgage is February 4th. A lot of new techniques are going to be presented. A lot of them the result of mistakes that were made. So let's hear about what others have done and not do those. The new 1003 with Michael Barone is February 18th. Guys, if you haven't been watching, we do have a new 1003 coming in. It's about 10 pages. It's very involved, the usage of it with regard to some of your HMDA requirements. So please take the time to be there for this. It's February 18th. We also have whistleblower and sexual harassment training coming on March 25th. Again, you'll have a certificate issued for these two trainings. You have to have this stuff, guys, so please don't miss these things. Your association is trying to provide you with everything you need to stay regulatory compliant, so take advantage of these webinars. We also have your cybersecurity changes coming out for 2021. That webinar will be announced. Please don't miss that either, because the cybersecurity exam portion is growing, ever growing. It's many pages. So please take note of that, and we will get notice to you as to when that will be. And your regulatory compliance conference, please don't forget, we are hoping to have an in-person regulatory compliance office conference on May 11th at the Westchester Marriott in Terrytown. And we would be looking forward to seeing everybody there that we haven't seen for over a year now. With that being said, thank you all so much for attending today, and we will look forward to seeing you again at the next webinar and hopefully in person soon. Have a great day, everyone.